Hey, so I got my aura read, and now I'm thinking, does that get entered into a database somewhere? And what do they do with that information? But anyway, uh, if you want to know what I am, I'm top green, center green, bottom green, left yellow, right blue. And then I had the full analysis of my chakras. And that was accurate as well. They're both accurate, where, as I talked about my other video, my intuition was at a 1. And she was like, it's not blocked, but it's a 1. And you know what's interesting is she wrote down carnelian to help with my sacral chakra. And she had a carnelian on her. She had a little heart stone in her pocket that she was showing me. And when I was looking up the wax stamps, I was looking into carnelian wax stamps. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know if that has anything to do with you or like, extra confirmation for you about carnelian. But if you're interested and you haven't done that kind of stuff, I would suggest it personally. I don't know if it gets entered somewhere and is used for something that I wouldn't agree with. I didn't think about that. But it was accurate. And I think for me, it shows me how to continue to love myself and care for myself, because I already do the things that it suggests or says to do. And so it feels good to know that I'm as self-aware as I believe that I am. I just don't give myself enough credit for. And it does put in perspective that there are, like, the things that I do to nurture myself is suggested, because it's picking whatever this machine is doing is picking it up. So I thought that was cool. I've never done that before. I don't know why I felt like doing it. I was just feeling all, dilly-dally kind of mood. So I dilly-dallied up to some store and got my aura read, and chakras read. So yeah, I pulled some cards. They're sitting here right now, and this is for you, if this resonates. And I'm really drawn to her. I don't know if you're tan, dark-skinned person, or you have an old friend that is this skin color, or this is a representative of your guide, one of your guides looking like this, because this is just really highlighted to me. Or maybe it's an impactful person that's going to enter your life soon. This is what I see the strongest about, is her. And I feel like what's coming through here is a tower moment for you. It's an internal tower. I've felt this feeling before with me, personally with me, where it's this feeling of yearning for something, but you don't quite know what it is that you yearn for. And it's not in the sense of feeling like you need something or want something different. It's like you can intuit there's change, or that you belong somewhere else, and you're being drawn there. Like your energy's already pulling yourself towards that future decision, but you don't quite know what it is. So it's like where you are presently is that discomfort between those two realities, like that next chapter in your life. Or if you can equate this to like wanting to move somewhere, like having this wild idea, random idea to move somewhere or go somewhere, visit somewhere, travel somewhere, go to an event, and not knowing yet if that's why, like, you're meant to be there, but feeling like it. You know what I mean? It's like, I really feel like I want to move to this area, but until I move there and settle in, I won't actually know that that's what this feeling is telling me. It's like knowing that there's change and it's occurring in you, and you're just waiting for reality to catch up with it, and even your mind to catch up with it, to pick up on exactly what it is. So this is an internal process that I'm seeing here. I'm seeing the Temperance card, and it's that blending. It's a blending energy. Because where you were very recently is a point of not knowing what direction to take, or not making a decision. How do I explain this? I can explain it like this. It's like, you're not trapped. Okay, you're in my house. Hopefully you're not literally in my house if you're a crazy person and you're watching this. If you're a regular person, you can, it's fine. You're in your house. You're not in my house. You're in your house, okay? And you're not confined to your house. You're not confined to a room. You're not confined anywhere in there, right? You can freely move about if you so desire, right? So it's this feeling of moving around in your house. And from moving around in your house, you see how you're not stagnant. Like you're still doing things that you want. You can cook, you can call people, you can order things, all of that. And then you feeling like, okay, I need to go to the store. But then you keep putting it off because of all these different, like, oh, well, I've gotten so used to being in my house, I can just order it online. Like, you're kind of making excuses to not do that, to the point that it stops challenging you, right? Because there's different skills that you can use in order to get to the store. You have to know how to drive. You have to have spatial awareness when you're driving and when you're around people, like all of these different things. And also it's socializing and all of this, right? And so it's this feeling of limiting yourself, but not feeling quite like it's that big of a deal. Like, maybe at some moments here and there you felt like it was a big deal, but overall you had other things that you could do, right? And within your house, there's more important things you can spend your time on than worrying about whether or not you're leaving or not. And so as this is happening, let's say you're working from home, so you're earning all of this income, and now there's this feeling that you want to move, right? You want to move to some totally different town that you haven't been to because you haven't even left your house and you haven't even driven, but now you're going to have to drive cross country with all your stuff. So it's a huge shift. It's a big drastic shift that you haven't had quite a lot of practice doing anymore. Is this the same thing as my last reading? Am I just repeating myself here? Kind of feels like I am. Okay. Here's what I'm seeing. A year from now is a date that I'm getting. A year from you watching this feels all right. Let me lay all these cards out. So, yes. Don't stop, by the way, is another one. Don't stop. It says communicate clearly, let go, don't stop a year from now. It's a lot. Wow. Oh my goodness. So many swords. Page of Swords, Six of Swords, Two of Swords, Seven of Swords, Ace of Swords, Three of Swords, Knight of Swords, Five of Swords, 8, and then that's 4, 8, 11 cards. Mamma mia. Yeah, it's a lot of mental clarity. It looks like a storyline to me of these tarot cards. Where this actually feels at the end a separate energy of this. It feels like a heartbreak in the sense that there is someone and I didn't pick this up. If you watched the other reading and you feel this resonates as well, I didn't see this energy before, this other person's energy before. And I know I talked about this sterile kind of thing. Because what I'm this, and so this is something else. This is someone else where it feels like you making that decision, making that choice to say, I don't want to listen to my inner critic anymore. Or if someone around me is kind of playing off of any insecurities or just not really being there for me in some ways. There's something where it's not them, it's someone intentionally not being good to you. It feels very heavy, a very, very heavy energy. where your focus is on love. Your focus is on purifying your space and purifying yourself and saying, well, I only want to accept love into my life. Love for myself, love towards other people, and the things that I surround myself with. I only want loving energy here. And that begins in my own mind. It begins with how I treat myself and how I perceive myself. And there's this feeling that someone doesn't get it. This is really, really, really painful. It's really painful energy that I'm getting here associated with this other person. Or people, but it feels like a person. Maybe the people would be connected to that person. And when you break away from this, it's you also seeing this spiral of, why did they do that to me? Like, they didn't have to hurt me, or they didn't have to treat me that way. They didn't have to talk to me that way. They didn't have to put me down. Like, if they're envious of you in some way, if they... That's what it feels it boils down to, whether this is a relationship or not. It feels like it's rooted in this person being envious of freedom. You have a mental freedom or strength that they don't have. And a creative outlook on how to live your life, or even how you perceive your obstacles in life. It's like you use that to strengthen yourself, to sharpen your sword. And they look at it in another way. They look at it as a headache. They look at it as stress. They look at it as a waste of time. So they project that onto you. Because I see you reflecting later on how you felt trapped, you felt stuck, you felt like the more I would stay there, the more it would cause me pain. Or I would just be drowning in this pain. So I have to move. I have to get out of it. I have to try. I have to run. I have to run. And it's not running away from my problems. It's recognizing when things are toxic. Things are hurting me. Things are there needs to be change. And for some of you, this I think it's two-part. I think this that I talked about was that internalization of this pain. and looking at it as what's wrong with me. And then recognizing that, number one, you're human, right? You're going to have good days and bad days. You're going to, in order to be the person you want to be, have to go through trial and error to become that and to learn that. But you know where your heart lies. You know where, like, what you want out of life. And that sometimes it's okay to let go. Sometimes it's okay to say you've done your best and that there might be something else. You don't know what that else is, but that's where you feel called to be, called to do. And a year from now, it'll make a lot more sense. And how that translates into the relationships that you currently have. That's what I was going to say, is how people can be manipulated easily when they're very stressed or they're very insecure, right? Because they're already on edge, so you can play off of people's insecurities with that. And that's what I'm seeing here, where that may have happened to you in the past. It's not happening currently, but there's a slight bitterness from someone surrounding you, or it's like someone surrounding you that planted that into someone else's mind, and then from there that person reacted negatively on you. So it's like that person's insecure, that person's on edge, that person doesn't know really what's going on, and so then someone's manipulating them, and in turn they're acting poorly towards you. And you just saying, I don't, enough's enough. I have to do what's right for me. Even if that just means trying something different, I want to do that. And this is what I'm seeing in the future, is this mental pain from another person of seeing you a year from now, seeing you good, seeing you feels like you're unrecognizable. A year from now, there's something unrecognizable about you or your life. And you see it, I'm really drawn to the fact that this girl is in a crystal ball. It feels amazing. That's the amazement. A year from now, amazing, 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 amazing. And if you would even say to yourself, future you, say to yourself, who would have thought a year ago about me now, it would be this feeling of like safety, confidence, surety of, I would have thought, I know, because all it took was for me to take that step. All it took was for me to believe in myself. All it took was for me to do it. Like I knew all along. I've known all along. I've felt it all along. It's not that difficult. And she's dark too. She's dark skinned. There's something about that skin color. Yeah, it's this, do you see it's happy, happy, and why in reverse? Because it feels like this is where you were at some point. And you moving out of that. Of, I'm not gonna sit here and question why over and over and over again of why something didn't work out, why something isn't happening, why such and such talk to me this way, why they're treating me this way, why they're doing this. I don't care anymore. It doesn't matter why. What matters is what I do with this, and you coming into peace with that and feeling at peace. Like, that's pretty much what the word that I'm probably looking for is you feel at peace. A year from now, it's so peaceful. And the crystal ball is showing like this person mentally reading you, mentally, like, they can only reach you by thought. They're not reaching you by thought, but they can only think about you. You know what I mean? Like, you're just a figment of their memory. Or if you're in the public eye, then they can only look at you that way. They can't, you see, even like, you can use this example of these wands, like, they can't poke and prod at you, they can't affect you because you're just an image. You're not physically there for them to do anything. And I feel this radiant energy coming off of you. And actually, that's isn't that the sacral chakra? So it's probably important here, the carnelian. We have justice. It's this feeling of, you know who you are. So no one can play that against you. It feels like someone or people are going to, or have, or I think they will try this, of attacking you about who you are, but you know who you are, you even own who you are or who you've been, that it doesn't harm you. You're free. I'm looking at my... You're free and you're protected. Archangel Michael. Time to create. So if you felt connected to that other reading I did, what can I say? What's your question? No, not the right time. That's what you got. The no came out before I said, what's your question? So you might have been asking a question. It says take action. Get more information. It's up to you. Meditation brings answers. So if you're just kind of sitting here listening, then it feels like you're in control of your life, you're in control of your decisions, you're in control of the trajectory of where you want your life to be. A year from now, you can dramatically transform it in however which way you want. The more information that you need to get through meditation is going to be finding balance and finding peace in your life through different creations that you take on when you take action towards that's the key to your answers. Because the way I'm seeing this is it locks right in. Like once you take action, once you take some sort of bold move, then it locks everything in place. It like turns the key to some sort of destined event, or like I'm gonna say preordained, but I guess it's the same thing as destiny. It's like you have to take the action in order for it to turn. You have to put the key in order for you to unlock it, right? So it's up to you to figure out when that is. I think the important thing for you to do right now is plan. You need to start planning. The no, not the right time feels like you're not supposed to take drastic measures right now. Right now you need to plan it out. You need to take time to make sure you do it properly. Doing something properly or doing something in the right way, making sure that you do have all the information, so that you can be as prepared as possible, but that you should start working on it now. Does this make sense to you guys? That's what I see. One more. Within the next few weeks. So hopefully that answered something else for you. All right. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.